The massive crystalline ship hung in Earth's orbit like a silent, threatening diamond. Its design was unlike anything humanity had ever seen. All smooth curves and impossible angles that seemed to shift and change when looked at directly. Inside the ship's central chamber, a delegation of alien representatives prepared to deliver an ultimatum that had worked countless times before across hundreds of star systems. Admiral Roberts stood at the center of the United Earth Defense Council, his weathered face a mask of calm professionalism. Around him, representatives from every continent watched the massive holographic display showing the alien vessel. The room was dead silent, tension thick enough to cut with a knife. "They're requesting an official communication channel," reported Lisa Parker, the lead communications specialist. Her fingers danced across a complex holographic interface, routing and filtering the incoming transmission. The first alien speaker appeared, a tall, slender being with iridescent skin that seemed to shimmer between blue and silver. Its voice translated perfectly, a smooth mechanical tone that carried an undercurrent of absolute certainty. "Inhabitants of the third planet," the alien began, "we are the Galactic Concordance. Your civilization has been observed and evaluated. Your technological development, while primitive, indicates potential. We are here to offer integration." Admiral Roberts raised an eyebrow. The word "offer" clearly meant something very different to these aliens. The alien continued, its translated voice clinical and detached. "Your planet will be assigned a classification sector. Your resources will be cataloged. Your population will be redistributed according to skill assessment. Resistance is not recommended. Thousands of civilizations have peacefully joined our empire." In the background, global data streams began flowing across secondary screens. Military analysts quickly compiled information about the alien ship's capabilities. Initial scans showed technology far beyond current human understanding. Energy signatures that defied known physics, structural compositions that seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously. Dr. Michael Green, the Council's chief scientific advisor, leaned forward. "Their technological gap is significant," he whispered to Roberts. "They could potentially destroy our entire civilization with minimal effort." Roberts knew this. Every military projection suggested total defeat if direct conflict erupted. The alien vessel could likely obliterate major cities with a single energy pulse. Conventional weapons would be useless, but something in Roberts' gut told him these aliens had never encountered humanity before. The alien diplomat continued its cold, calculated speech. "You have 48 Earth hours to prepare for initial integration procedures. Resistance will result in immediate neutralization. Your leaders will be replaced. Your population will be assessed and distributed across approved work sectors." A map appeared, showing how Earth would be divided. Entire continents were marked with clinical efficiency, as if the planet was nothing more than a resource to be managed. "We await your formal acceptance," the alien concluded. The communication channel remained open, waiting for a response. In that moment, something remarkable happened. Instead of panic, instead of terror, a strange energy filled the room. The Global Defense Council members exchanged looks, not of fear, but of a shared, defiant understanding. Admiral Roberts stepped forward, his hand touching a communication panel. "Prepare our response," he said quietly to Lisa Parker. Around the world, something was brewing. In research laboratories, military installations, universities, and government centers, a collective resolve was forming. These aliens might have conquered thousands of civilizations, but they had never met humanity. And humanity was about to make that very clear. As the alien ship continued its silent vigil above Earth, waiting for a response, nobody could have predicted what was coming. Not the aliens, not the diplomats, not even the most imaginative science fiction writers could have conceived of the response humanity was preparing. Earth was about to teach the Galactic Concordance a lesson they would never forget. 12 hours after the alien ultimatum, Earth transformed. Every research facility, every technology center, every university became a battleground of innovation. Scientists who had previously worked in isolated labs now collaborated across continents, sharing knowledge with unprecedented speed and unity. In a massive underground facility beneath the Nevada desert, Dr. Michael Green stood before a holographic display that flickered with complex diagrams. Engineers and researchers from 50 different countries worked side by side, their fingers dancing across interfaces, their minds united by a single purpose. "We don't have advanced plasma weapons," Green announced to the room, "but we have something better: human creativity." The facility hummed with energy. Quantum computers processed billions of calculations per second. Advanced 3D printers created prototype components that defied conventional design. Military strategists worked alongside civilian engineers, breaking every rule of traditional weapon development. At the European Space Research Center, a team led by Maria Rodriguez discovered a breakthrough in electromagnetic shielding. They had been studying the alien ship's transmission data, and something unusual caught their attention. The alien technology, for all its apparent superiority, had subtle weaknesses. "Look at these energy signature fluctuations," Rodriguez pointed out to her team. A young physicist named David noted how the alien ship's defensive systems seemed to have predictable harmonic frequencies. "If we can generate a specific counter-frequency," he said, "we might be able to disrupt their most advanced technologies." Meanwhile, global communication networks were being transformed. Military communications experts worked to create an entirely new encryption system that would be impossible for the aliens to crack. They weren't just preparing a defense. They were preparing a statement. Admiral Roberts oversaw the global mobilization from the United Earth Defense Council headquarters. Satellite networks were being reconfigured. Every available resource was being redirected. Manufacturing plants that once produced consumer goods now created advanced defensive equipment. "We're not just preparing to fight," Roberts told his top commanders. "We're preparing to show them what humanity is capable of." Around the world, something unprecedented was happening. Countries that had been historical rivals now worked together with seamless coordination. Economic barriers dissolved. Every human resource was being channeled into a singular collective effort. In Japan, advanced robotics teams developed modular defense systems that could adapt in real time. In India, computer scientists created adaptive AI algorithms designed to predict and counter alien tactical movements. American aerospace engineers collaborated with Russian rocket scientists to develop new propulsion technologies. The aliens had given humanity 48 hours, but humanity was working as if they had mere hours. Dr. Green's team in Nevada made a critical discovery. By analyzing the minimal data from the alien transmission, they found that the Galactic concordance relied heavily on predictive algorithms. Their entire military strategy was based on statistical probability and historical conquest patterns. They've never encountered a civilization that doesn't follow expected behavioral models, Green explained to Admiral Roberts during a secure video conference. Every previous civilization they've encountered has either surrendered or been quickly defeated. We're going to be something entirely different. Weapon systems were being developed that didn't just aim to destroy, but to disrupt and confuse. Electronic warfare tools that could potentially blind or disorient the alien technology. Communication systems designed to send deliberate misinformation and create tactical confusion. 48 hours became 24, then 12. The alien ship remained in orbit, waiting for humanity's surrender. But humanity was not going to surrender. Humanity was going to fight. And humanity was going to win. As the final hours ticked down, a message was being prepared. Not a message of fear, not a message of surrender, but a message that would echo across the stars. Earth was ready. The first attack came precisely 48 hours after the initial ultimatum. 3 alien reconnaissance ships dropped out of faster-than-light travel, their crystalline hulls gleaming with an unnatural light. They moved with a precision that suggested centuries of calculated warfare, expecting nothing more than a simple, swift conquest. They were wrong. Deep within the Nevada underground facility, Dr. Michael Green watched the incoming ships through a network of advanced satellites. "Incoming," he said calmly into his communication link. "Tactical teams, activate protocol firewall." Across the globe, humanity's carefully prepared defense systems sprang to life. The alien ships approached Earth's atmosphere, their sensors sweeping the planet's surface. They expected to find a primitive defense network, perhaps a few rudimentary missile systems. Instead, they found something entirely unexpected. The first wave of defense came not from massive weapons, but from a complex electronic warfare strategy. As the alien ships began their approach, their communication systems suddenly went dark. Navigation computers flickered and died. Precise targeting systems became nothing more than useless screens of static. Maria Rodriguez, watching from the European Space Research Center, allowed herself a small smile. The electromagnetic disruption they had theorized was working perfectly. The alien ships were being blinded, their most advanced technologies turned against them. But this was just the beginning. From hidden launch sites across the planet, a swarm of small, incredibly fast drones rose into the sky. They weren't traditional weapons. They were adaptive, AI-controlled units that moved with a randomness that defied predictive algorithms. Each drone was a small marvel of engineering, capable of rapid changes in direction, equipped with sophisticated jamming equipment, and designed to overwhelm the aliens' defensive systems. The first alien ship tried to calculate a response. Its computer systems attempted to predict the drone's movements, but failed. These weren't predictable military units. These were something entirely new. Suddenly, the drones began to emit a series of complex electromagnetic pulses, not to destroy, but to confuse, to probe, to learn. Admiral Roberts watched the real-time display, his hands clasped behind his back. "We're not just defending," he muttered. "We're studying them." The second alien ship attempted to provide support to its compromised companion. But as it moved, it found itself caught in a web of electronic warfare. Its shields began to flicker. Its weapon systems became unreliable. Aboard the alien vessel, confusion turned to something new, something the Galactic Concordance had rarely experienced: fear. The third ship tried to retreat, but found its faster-than-light drive mysteriously offline. Somehow, the humans had managed to introduce a virus into their most advanced systems during those first moments of electronic contact. Dr. Green's team had done more than just defend. They had invaded the aliens' most secure systems, leaving behind carefully designed digital traps. Within 30 minutes of entering Earth's space, all 3 reconnaissance ships were completely neutralized, not destroyed, not blown up in a spectacular display of firepower, simply rendered completely useless. As a final message, the human teams broadcast a simple transmission to the disabled alien ships. It was short, it was clear. It was a message that would echo through the Galactic Concordance's communication networks. "You are not ELCOME. Leave." In the Nevada facility, Dr. Green looked at Admiral Roberts. "First contact," he said, "completed." The Admiral nodded. This was just the beginning. Somewhere in the vast darkness of space, the Galactic Concordance was about to learn a critical lesson. Humanity was not like any civilization they had ever encountered before. And this was only the first skirmish. The world held its breath in the days following the first skirmish. In a secure research facility deep within the Andes Mountains, something extraordinary was taking shape. Dr. Elena Reyes stood before a massive holographic display, her team of international scientists working with an intensity that bordered on obsession. "We've decoded fragments of their communication protocols," she announced to the gathered researchers. "But more importantly, we've discovered something that will change everything." The breakthrough had come from an unexpected combination of quantum physics, advanced mathematics, and pure human creativity. The alien technology, for all its apparent superiority, operated on a set of predictable quantum principles. But humans saw those principles differently. Where the Galactic Concordance saw fixed rules, humanity saw opportunities. Dr. Michael Green arrived from the Nevada facility, bringing with him terabytes of data from the disabled alien ships. The research teams worked around the clock, their collaboration unlike anything in human history. Physicists worked alongside computer scientists. Mathematicians collaborated with engineers. Every discipline was breaking down its traditional barriers. It's not just about copying their technology, Green explained during a global conference call. It's about understanding the fundamental differences in how we perceive scientific principles. The breakthrough came in the form of a revolutionary faster-than-light communication system, but it wasn't a direct copy of alien technology. It was something entirely new. A method of information transfer that defied everything the Galactic Concordance understood about physics. Maria Rodriguez, leading the communication systems team, demonstrated the first successful test. A message was sent across a distance that should have taken years. Instead, it arrived instantaneously, using a method that seemed to fold space itself. We're not just matching their technology, Rodriguez told the stunned scientific community. We're rewriting the rules of what's possible. The new system worked on principles that seemed to contradict everything known about quantum mechanics. It wasn't just a technological advancement. It was a fundamental reimagining of how information could travel. Admiral Roberts watched the demonstrations with a mix of pride and amazement. The military implications were staggering. Instant communication across vast distances, the ability to coordinate defenses in ways no other civilization could comprehend. But the scientific team wasn't done. They discovered that the alien faster-than-light travel worked on a set of predictable quantum tunneling methods. Humanity's new system didn't just match this technology, it completely reimagined it. Their technology is like an old highway system, Dr. Rice explained. We've just invented teleportation. Global communication networks began to integrate the new technology. Satellites were upgraded. Communication systems were completely redesigned. What had once taken hours now happened in milliseconds. The Galactic Concordance was about to receive a message, not just a message of defiance, but a declaration of technological independence. In the Nevada facility, a final test was prepared. A message would be sent directly to the alien fleet. Not a message of war, not a message of surrender, but a message that would reshape their understanding of humanity. Dr. Green looked at the transmission controls. "Ready," he said quietly. The message was simple, elegant, devastating in its implications. We are not your next conquest. We are something entirely new. As the transmission went out, something changed. The very fabric of space seemed to shift. The Galactic Concordance would soon learn that humanity was not just another civilization to be cataloged and controlled. Humanity was about to become something else entirely. A new player in the galactic game. The news spread faster than light. Within days of humanity's technological breakthrough, the galactic communication networks buzzed with an unprecedented phenomenon. The Galactic Concordance, an empire that had conquered thousands of civilizations, was experiencing something entirely new: uncertainty. In the Grand Council chambers of the Concordance's central world, heated debates erupted. Holographic displays showed the unprecedented resistance of the small blue planet. Representatives from dozens of alien civilizations watched in growing disbelief. They destroy our reconnaissance ships without firing a single conventional weapon, reported the lead strategic analyst, his translucent skin shifting colors with agitation. Their technological approach defies all known military protocols. The Concordance's primary diplomatic strategist, a being with multiple appendages and a brain that processed information across several neural networks, leaned forward. "This is not a typical resistance," it stated. "This is something else entirely." Other civilizations began to take notice. Some saw an opportunity. Others saw a potential ally against the Concordance's expanding control. A transmission arrived from a distant star system, a representative of the Calarian Confederation, a civilization that had long chafed under Concordance rule, requested detailed information about Earth's resistance. Admiral Roberts and Dr. Green understood the broader implications. This was no longer just a defensive action. This was a diplomatic chess match on a galactic scale. "We're not just protecting Earth," Green explained during a secure briefing. "We're challenging an entire system of galactic governance." The human diplomatic team crafted their messages with surgical precision. Each communication was a careful blend of technological demonstration, diplomatic warning, and subtle invitation. They weren't just saying, "Stay away." They were saying, "We are different." Maria Rodriguez led the communication strategy. Every transmission was designed to probe, to learn, to demonstrate humanity's unique approach to interstellar relations. The messages contained subtle technological signatures that would intrigue other civilizations, hints of capabilities that went beyond mere military might. Within the concordance, internal tensions began to surface. Some factions argued for immediate and total destruction of Earth. Others saw the potential for studying this unique civilization. The monolithic unity that had defined the concordance for centuries began to crack. "We cannot predict their next move," one council member stated, "and that is unprecedented." On Earth, the global unity continued. Countries that had once been rivals now worked with unprecedented cooperation. Military resources, scientific capabilities, diplomatic strategies, everything was aligned toward a single goal. Dr. Elena Reyes discovered something even more remarkable. The technological breakthrough wasn't just about communication or defense. It represented a fundamentally different way of understanding the universe, where the concordance saw fixed rules. Humanity saw possibilities. The Calarian Confederation made the first unofficial approach. Their transmission was cautious, probing. "Your resistance intrigues us." Their message read, "We wish to understand." Admiral Roberts smiled. The first cracks in the concordance's galactic monopoly were forming. The human response was carefully crafted, not an invitation, not a rejection, but a challenge. "We are open to dialogue." The transmission read, "On our terms." In the vast darkness of space, something was changing. The Galactic Concordance was discovering that humanity was not just another civilization to be conquered. They were a new variable in the galactic equation, a variable that could not be easily calculated, a variable that was about to change everything. The political landscape of the galaxy would never be the same again. The Galactic Concordance finally decided to end the uncertainty. 3 massive battle fleets emerged from faster-than-light travel, surrounding Earth in a formation that had crushed thousands of civilizations before. Their ships were technological marvels, kilometers long, bristling with weapons that could shatter planets, protected by shields that had never been penetrated. Admiral Roberts stood in the Global Defense Command Center, watching the incoming armada. "They're here," he said quietly. The alien fleet's communication systems activated, broadcasting a final ultimatum across every frequency. "Surrender is your only option. Resistance means total destruction." But humanity had been preparing for exactly this moment. Dr. Elena Reyes and her team activated the first line of defense. It wasn't a weapon in any traditional sense. It was a complex network of quantum interference generators strategically placed in Earth's orbital zone. As the alien ships approached, these devices began to create localized quantum disruption fields. The first alien ship shields flickered, then went dark. In the Nevada Research Facility, Dr. Michael Green watched the data streams with intense concentration. "Now," he said into his communication link, "thousands of adaptive drones, each one a small miracle of engineering, swarmed from hidden launch points. They weren't trying to destroy the alien ships. They were studying them, probing, learning, adapting in real time to each ship's defensive systems." The alien fleet commander couldn't comprehend what was happening. Their predictive algorithms failed. Their most advanced targeting systems became useless. It was as if the human defenders were reading their thoughts before they could form them. Maria Rodriguez managed the global communication network. Every piece of information was being collected, analyzed, transmitted. The human defense wasn't just a military operation. It was a complete systems analysis of the most advanced military force in the galaxy. The second alien battle group attempted to flank Earth's defenses. They were met with something entirely unexpected: quantum-entangled communication networks that could predict and counter their movements before they were even initiated. "They're not fighting," Rodriguez told Admiral Roberts. "They're learning." The Concordance fleet began to break formation. Confusion spread through their communication networks. These humans were doing something no civilization had ever done before. They weren't just defending. They were transforming the very nature of conflict. Weapon systems that had obliterated thousands of civilizations became useless. The humans had developed adaptive countermeasures that changed faster than the aliens could comprehend. Each alien tactical move was already being countered before it could be fully implemented. In orbit, the battle became something beyond traditional warfare. It was a dance of technology, of information, of pure adaptive capability. The third alien fleet attempted a final desperate assault. Massive energy weapons charge, ready to turn Earth into a memory. Dr. Reyes activated the final defensive protocol. The aliens' own communication and navigation systems were turned against them. Ships began to fire on each other, their targeting systems completely compromised. Their faster-than-light drives created dangerous quantum instabilities. Within hours, the massive invasion fleet was completely neutralized. Not destroyed. Not blown into space debris. Simply rendered completely ineffective. Admiral Roberts watched the final reports come in. "Send the message," he instructed. A simple transmission went out across galactic frequencies. "Earth is not your territory. Leave." The Galactic Concordance had just learned a lesson they would never forget. Humanity was not just another conquest. Humanity was something entirely new. The silence was deafening. In the weeks following the decisive confrontation, the galaxy held its collective breath. The Galactic Concordance, an empire that had ruled for millennia, found itself fundamentally changed. Transmissions began to arrive from various star systems. Some were cautious. Some were curious. All were different. The Calarian Confederation was the first to make official contact. Their diplomatic vessel approached Earth not as a threat, but as a potential ally. Admiral Roberts and Dr. Elena Reyes prepared to receive them, understanding that this moment would reshape galactic politics forever. "We've studied your resistance," the Calarian representative began during the first face-to-face meeting. Its translator conveyed a tone of genuine respect. "You've done something no civilization has ever accomplished." Dr. Reyes smiled. "We didn't just resist," she explained. "We reimagined the entire concept of conflict." The human approach had exposed fundamental flaws in the Concordance's galactic governance. Their predictive algorithms, their military strategies, their entire philosophical approach to civilization management. All of it had been challenged by a planet they had considered primitive. Dr. Michael Green presented the diplomatic team with a comprehensive analysis. Humanity hadn't just defended itself. It had demonstrated a completely new paradigm of technological and strategic thinking. "We're not interested in conquest," Green explained. "We're interested in cooperation, in understanding, in growth." The Concordance's communication networks were in chaos. Some factions called for continued aggression. Others saw the potential for a new approach. The monolithic empire was fracturing, forced to confront its own limitations. Maria Rodriguez managed the global communication strategy. Each transmission was carefully crafted, showing humanity's capabilities while simultaneously extending an olive branch. They weren't seeking to replace the Concordance. They were offering an alternative. Other civilizations began to take notice. The Quantum Collective, a group of advanced civilizations that had long been marginalized, reached out. The Stellar Cooperative requested information exchanges. The galactic power structure was being rewritten. Admiral Roberts understood the deeper implications. This wasn't just about military victory. This was about changing how civilizations interact. The first interstellar conference was unlike anything in galactic history. Representatives from multiple star systems gathered, with Earth at the center. Not as a conqueror, not as a subject, but as an equal. We propose a new model of galactic cooperation, the human delegation presented, based on mutual understanding, on scientific exchange, on respect for individual civilizations' unique capabilities. The Concordance representatives struggled to comprehend this approach. They had never encountered a civilization that didn't seek total dominance or complete submission. Humanity offered something different, a partnership, a chance to grow together. The technological breakthroughs continued. The quantum communication systems developed by human scientists began to be shared, not as a weapon, but as a tool for understanding. Dr. Rice looked out over the Global Defense Center. The world that had once been divided by national boundaries now worked as a single unified entity. And now, they were extending that unity to the stars. "We're not just defending our planet," she told her team. "We're creating a new way of existing in the universe." The final transmission from the Concordance arrived. It was short. It was profound. "We wish to understand." Humanity had done more than survive. They had transformed the very concept of interstellar relations. The galaxy would never be the same again. And this was just the beginning.